What's up, my brothers and my sisters from another mister? So today we're going to do a comic book review of The Scorched, issue number 15. This is Jessica Priest, aka She Spawn's last stand. Can her team save her from a new threat? Brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. Previously in The Scorched, Necro and Margaret Love have escaped the confines of hell and are seeking allies to bring their war to Earth. So we begin this issue with Mandarin Spawn feeling like he's been played, and this is coming back. This is a callback to Scorched issue number 13, where the Scorched invaded his territory and made him feel inconsequential, ruining his ego, and he slashes everyone's heads off. And he talks about, you know what, I know my place in the world. You do not become one with hell itself, so you might stand in line to kneel. Now whose head leaves their shoulders next? And these heathens gather for their right to fight their way into a circle, but they back away. They fear Mandarin Spawn, but could there also be something else to fear? And that's when Necro and Margaret Love come in, and they know the answer. There is always something greater to fear. So Necro asks Mandarin Spawn, we have come to let you join us. And this is like just another blow to Mandarin Spawn's ego. So he goes and attacks Necro like, no one comes at me like that. No one tells me I should join them. You should be the one asking to join me. Don't let that stuff in Scorched issue number 13 play you like that. He feels disrespected. The disrespect he feels. The dynasty that saw him as a freak. He became a hellspawn only to have vagrants invade his home. And so he goes in and attacks, and Necro's like, boy, you don't know who you messing with. Blast him back. So they give him another chance. But like you, says Margaret Love, we like to kill Spawn. We like respect. We like the world we deserve. We like revenge, says Necro. And Mandarin Spawn's like others, you think you know what buttons to press? But go on, tell me more. Margaret Love and Necro, they planned, waited for one of the dead zones to open up, and they escaped, all to bring forth an army just like Mandarin had already started. So Margaret Love tells Mandarin we're on the same mindset, and this time we're on the winning side. We just need one more. And they tell Mandarin who the last member they need to finish their army. And Mandarin's like, okay, show us and we will free him, but betray me and no monster you summon will protect you from my fury. Okay, we'll see about that. So meanwhile at the Black Fortress, the Scorched are falling apart, and Gunslinger Spawn is pissed because he was here based on the promise that She Spawn promised him to get him back into time, and she knows that Spawn can deliver, but he feels She Spawn hasn't kept that promise. And Medieval Spawn's like, hey, calm down, let's take it easy. And he puts his hand on the shoulder, and Gunslinger Spawn's like, you best remove your hand, boy. So Gunslinger is lost in time. The Scorched are all lost. Orphans thrown together through a need to save those they love. And Sergi shoots Gunslinger Spawn like, arrogant bastard, only thinking about yourself. And Gunslinger Spawn looks at him like, my advice, kid, get out while you still can. If neither of you can deliver my message, I'll do it myself. Now, remember, Soul Crusher Sergi has always been an outsider here. He went from, trying to rid the world of spawns, like hell spawns right here, but yet he's fighting by their side. And sometimes the greater good gets tedious, so he just backs out like, you know what, I ain't trying to fight here, you do what you have to do. So Medieval Spawn tells Gunslinger, you leave us, Gunslinger Spawn, and you are not a free man, you are a traitor. This you must understand. And Gunslinger Spawn does understand Medieval. And Medieval Spawn has a code, but Gunslinger Spawn does not. And lucky for him, Medieval never hits first, but until now, this is even enraging Medieval Spawn. So he claps back at Gunslinger Spawn, and Sergi just throws back a cocktail or something like that, thinking, you know what, I'm gonna enjoy this. So while they're in turmoil and fighting, Gunslinger Spawn is looking for She Spawn, and speak of the devil, and she may come. She Spawn tells Gunslinger Spawn Mandarin Spawn is building an army. Coming home to end fighting isn't useful, and Gunslinger Spawn gets it like, you can't keep a promise. And she tells him, my promise still stands. And the Redeemer's like, cease the fighting, you have no idea what's at stake, only I do, everyone stays. And Gunslinger's like, huh, you and Reaper got some kind of bond or something? I was curious about that. So he goes into his flashback, and it was a momentary flashback. I went to see him earlier. Ever since we saved him from those fucked up angels experimenting on him, he just been praying on the mountain, looking toward the future, he said. But me, I gotta get to the past, and the only person who can help me is Spawn, not you. Reaper told me he'll stop both of us if he needed to. Said you help, so I'd cut him. And that's when we see Gunslinger Spawn impaling the Reaper with his blade. And the Redeemer's like, you cut him? Little blood never hurt nobody. There's no future without the Reaper, says Redeemer Spawn. Ain't no future without our past, says Gunslinger. And the Redeemer's like, oh, past, huh? Let me see if I can send you back. And this blast that Redeemer does to Gunslinger Spawn, She-Spawn wants him to stop, but this blast is intended to kill, and yet one person in the room sits unbothered. A mere human. Soul Crusher watches amused despite working with them. The camaraderie that's brought him, he's jumped at these monsters, blowing each other's face off the earth his whole life. He's been thinking about it ever since Margaret Love kissed him. The fact is, says Gunslinger Spawn, I never felt right with y'all, and if you got a problem with that, me leaving, well then keep in mind you ain't my friends. So he goes in and tackles Redeemer like an NFL linebacker tackling a punter. Though the weakest of the Spawns, Gunslinger has some hard things to quantify, and that's his unquenchable rage of a man whose family he couldn't save. And it's the damn thing him and Spawn have in common. So he lays haymaker after haymaker on Redeemer. And Gunslinger like, turn me to dust and I'll crawl into your goddamn lungs and make you cough out an apology. You should know blood is what gets you kind of talking. Wouldn't you say that? And this is a reference to the Scorched issue number 13. And I believe he's mentioning the Freak over here. So Reaper comes in with blood still dripping from his neck, and he tells him, let him go. I saw a vision in the blood. The winds are blowing from Greenworld. They are gathering. Spawn is distracted. The Scorch will have to hold Earth without Gunslinger and without Soul Crusher and without me. So they ask him, what do you mean? And the Reaper tells him, the new Bible starts with Exodus, the end times wiping Earth clean, and then from that a new Genesis if we don't stop it. And Gunslinger's like, well, good luck, cause y'all ain't doing it without me. Good luck, bruh. And Reaper's like, well, Gunslinger has his own path, and so do I, and Soul Crusher. Come on, Sergi, let's go, says Reaper. And She-Spawn's like, well, what about us? And go back to the beginning, says Reaper. Go back to when this all started. That's the clue he gave. And it's back in the islands of Mandarin hordes, following the commands of their god and his associates, Necro and Margaret Love. And so the hordes crashed their battering ram against the mountain face over and over again. And with each broken stone, they get closer to a number their forces need. Exodus is coming. 4 horsemen, Locust, Behemoth, and Leviathan, and a beast even the Bible forgot. So Necro's like, there's a portal to the last piece, the 4th horseman. It's open. And Mandarin Spawn's like, you said the Bible forgot this one? I thought the word of God knew all. Love giggles because she knows the beast these 3 are seeking goes by one name, Urizen. I'm not fully ingrained and full all-knowing who Urizen is, but when I looked him up, he is an ancient demonic deity that has existed before time itself. His sole purpose in life was to cleanse the universe by consuming the souls of many, freeing them from the circles of life and death, and he was bound by the armies of hell as he awakens, and that's her new villain for the Scorch. What do you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. I thought this was a gangster read, and I'm looking forward to more issues and more Spawn content to come. Link in description if you wish to add this comic book and or any of our other comic books or some Rated Comics exclusives to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry. I also like to give a shout out to Red Pill Animations. That's his YouTube channel right there. He shares reviews of one of his favorite action figures, and most of those action figures that he does reviews on, it covers Batman or related Todd McFarlane toys. I want to thank you for keeping it G and being a top G. Shout out to you, Red Pill Animations. Lastly, but not least, this review is sponsored by coffee, so if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description, or donate to the Super Thanks. I do these reviews early in the morning while my kids are asleep, but the greatest compliment you guys could do is by liking this video and subscribing to Rated Comics YouTube channel. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.